Welcome to our Unfiltered Spark episode. This is the season 4 for us. Session, not season 4, session 4 for us. Yeah, so today I have Vidya Marathe with me, and she's a coach. When I met her I think in March or April. I met you in April, right, Vidya?
Yeah, in
And
April.
we've come a long way, 4 months now. So, and I've seen her grow as a coach during our coaching conversation. And apart from that, Vidya is a seasoned leader. She's an executive coach, and also uh, she also helps authentic leaders also she grooms leaders also, and also she helps people build their brands as well. So in one of the conversation, Vidya has also helped me build my brand, like in helping me with my CV and the cover letters which I was preparing for my company interviews as well. And that is how I know Vidya as such. And this is what I want to tell you about Vidya. Before I hand it over to her, I will also tell something about myself. I call myself a traveler through life. I am a chartered accountant by profession, but I'm passionate about dance, travel, and I'm a writer as well. And recently, I picked up coaching as a career as well. So I am also looking forward to become an executive career coach, a leadership coach, and so that is in that journey is what brought me and Vidya together. So yeah, over to you, Vidya, now, so you can help us introduce yourself, and we get to know more about you now.
Thank you, Smita, and thank you for inviting me in your series of Unfiltered Sparks session. Hello, everybody. I'm Vidya Marathe, born in Chennai, raised in Mumbai. And for those who are not from Mumbai, you know this is the city that never sleeps, right? And honestly, I feel I've trained for it all my life, because night WhatsApp messages, binge watching, early morning alarms, and also partly thanks to my long-term relationship with filter coffee, because I'm hailing out of Chennai, right? Personally, a little about me. I'm a proud mom of two wonderful adult children, and I've been married for 28 years to the same man, I must add, because I believe that both of us deserve medals for this. Uh, Culturally, I'm a lovely fusion, South Indian and Maharashtrian. So yes, my mornings begin with both filter coffee and masala chai. Why choose one when you can enjoy both, right? Professionally, I spent close to 2 decades in leadership roles at a global organization, working across customer service, customer experience, service delivery, transformation, and talent development. But in March 2025, an unexpected career break came through, and I've taken the opportunity to reevaluate what would be the next chapter of my life and how it should look like. Talking about why we are here today,
Mm,
personal branding, right?
yes.
This isn't about any fancy jargon or picture perfect bios. It's more about your own story, your strengths, your voice, your journey, a spark and a personal brand that deserves to be seen and celebrated. It does not matter whether you're restarting, reinventing, or just rediscovering yourself. You have a brand, and it's time that the world sees it. Uh, I prefer dialogues rather than monologues. So let's try and make this session interactive, but at the same time, very real and honest. I might in this journey ask you to reflect, share, and maybe even, have a little bit of laugh along the way. So if everybody is ready, I'm ready to take a jump.
Yeah. So, Vidya, before we start with the questions I have for you, I must tell you that why did I pick up this topic with you, specifically with you, because branding was very important for me, and I was at a juncture where I was preparing something, and you helped me out. You, I remember a conversation with you where you were asking me, the way you're speaking is not like a leader. You're like a middle management person. Why are you not speaking like a leader? It's not coming out. You are not using that verbiage which is telling you that you're an executive leader or a leadership coach. It's not coming, and probably that words help me relook at myself. How am I branding myself? So probably I needed to take a pause and look at where I'm coming from, where I wanted to go, and that
Yeah.
pause helped me brand myself basically. And that is what I thought. Let's do this session wherein I can bring somebody who helped me out as well, and who can help others out as well also. So that's the reason I thought, and why you are there in the show. So probably you kept asking me why you are inviting me. What is it that you? I did not tell this backstory, but this is the main reason for it.
Absolutely. And I do want to, a disclaimer here. I'm not somebody who's been trained on personal branding or has done any kind of course on personal branding. What today I'm going to talk about personal branding is through my own reflections and my experience
Correct.
of the last couple of years. So I hope it holds some value for the people who have joined today and they are able to relate to it.
Yeah, that I can agree because she'll bring you the her authentic self of her. That's what matters basically. That's what personal branding is all about how you bring your authentic self towards others as well.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's get into the questions now, right?
Yeah.
All ready? So yeah, what does personal brand mean to you personally?
Um, so to me, it's basically about how people see me, my values, my
Hmm.
personality, my strengths. What do I stand for? Whether it's online or in the real life, you know,
Hmm.
it's my own signature style that sets me apart. And it's more
Okay.
importantly, how do I consistently show up in the world? So I would like to summarize it in one statement. So for me, my personal brand is what people think about me and say about me when I'm not in the room.
Hmm. Interesting. So so can you tell me how your personal brand has helped you professionally as well?
Absolutely. So one moment that there have been multiple occasions, but one moment that stands out for me was when I was being considered for a global transformation role in my previous organization. Interestingly, I was not the obvious choice on the paper because there were other people who had more technical expertise, qualifications, and experience in that specific domain. But what worked in my favor was my personal brand. So
Hmm.
over the years, I had built a reputation for being somebody who leads with empathy, somebody who
Hmm.
does not walk alone but brings people together during change, and
Hmm.
tries to get things done in without too much of drama. So bringing that
Hmm.
calmness in chaos, discipline, structure when it's needed.
Hmm.
So that's when the leadership team was looking for someone to drive high stakes, cross functional change with both sensitivity and impact. And my name came up, not because I raised my hand. Of course, I did apply for that position, but there were people who had already associated me with that kind of leadership. So I think that's a moment that stood out for me as to when my
Hmm.
brand really helped me professionally.
Yeah. So are there any misconceptions related to personal branding? And
Uh, a lot of them, and I would like you to spend a little bit of time on them because
sure, sure.
I have been, I have myself faced some of these misconceptions and thought process, and that's why I want to spend a little bit of time on that one. Uh, you know, Personal branding, such a fancy term, right?
Hmm.
It sounds like something that only the influencers or people with hashtags or the CEOs need to worry about, right? So
Yeah.
let's bust some myths, and I want to do a very small exercise for people who are in the group, and I'm hoping they're not multitasking, so they can open up the chat and uh, you know put out. I'm going to put out a few statements out there. I'm going to read it out. I just want you all to put it whether this is a myth or the fact, what they feel about it, and I would like to get into that discussion. So the first statement that I'm going to put out is personal branding is only for influencers, CEOs, or people who speak in TED talks. Is that a myth or a fact? I mean, feel free to unmute as well. I already see so few responses.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
biggest myth. People are saying myth. A lot of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is the biggest myth because you
Yeah.
don't need a TED talk or a ring light to have a brand. If
Hmm.
people have ever said something like, you are the one who's always bringing the calm in the chaos, you've already created a brand, and that's not a coincidence. So a
Hmm.
brand is by actions and it's over a period of time, right? So you've already created a brand, and brand is for everybody, right? From people, uh, for everybody. It could be a student, it could be a housewife, it could be somebody who's just starting their career, it could be somebody in mid of their career. It's for
Hmm.
anybody and everybody, right?
Hmm.
So the second myth Taking a career break means that I have nothing to show in for those years. Is that a myth or a fact?
It's a myth, a big myth.
I see Navneeta has raised her hand. Is that
Yeah,
something
you,
that Navneeta would like to add before?
Navneeta, you can unmute if you want to ask something because if we see a raised hand here,
Uh,
or otherwise we'll pick
no.
up the questions later.
Okay,
You can pick up the question later. Actually, it was by mistake. Okay.
okay,
Yeah,
no
no
problem.
worries, no worries.
Okay.
We'll be taking
Yeah.
questions at the end. No worries. Yeah.
So
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
I did see that response saying that it's a myth, right?
Yeah.
Of course, it's a myth, right? For people who have taken a career break for whatever reason, you have
Hmm.
been managing operations, you have been managing conflict resolutions, you have been managing you have been doing crisis management, right? You didn't pause your growth at all, right? That's multitasking, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, and something that you have paved way for, right? So you're always growing in some way or the other, but not in a way that probably LinkedIn tracks, right? So taking a career break definitely does not mean that you have not equipped yourself with some skills that you can
Hmm.
talk about in your resume or in any branding exercise. The third myth, your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Is that a fact or a myth?
I think it's a fact.
Okay, Kajal says myth.
I think it's a fact.
It's actually a fact, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not what people are talking about you on the face when you're there.
Hmm.
Of course, they may be saying good things about it, but your brand actually reflects what people are saying when you're not around. That's the value that people see what you bring, right? So I'm hoping that they're not saying that something like, on a lighter note, she's the one who always leaves her mic on during the Zoom calls, right? Jokes apart, but that's exactly what the brand is. It's your professional reputation in motion, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So that was a fact. And
Hmm.
the fourth myth, I feel, which plays on everybody's mind, is that somebody needs to sound perfect and polished to have a brand. Is that a myth or a fact?
I think it's according to me, it's a myth. I don't know. Let's see others. Yeah. Myth again.
Yeah, myth. Absolutely. Because unless you're applying to be a voice assistant, nobody connects with robotic perfection. I hope all of you all agree, right? People want to relate to real quirks, pauses, the occasional ums, the fumbling, and all of that, right? Your brand is not something that is perfectly curated on the LinkedIn headline. Of course, that's nice
Yeah.
too, that's important, but it's actually what people say about you when your name comes up in a meeting. Like, she's the one who gets the stuff done without making a big fuss, or she's the one, if there is a fire, she'll bring the calmness, and maybe she also brings in snacks. So, they're talking in a positive tone about you. Or if they're talking in a negative tone, that's the brand that you have worked on and that you have created, right? So
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be perfect. It only has to be real and authentic, right?
Hmm. Authentic.
So,
Yeah. That's right.
yeah, so these are some of the misconceptions or myths that even I had when I was working on creating when I was working on how do I define my brand? How do I want to be known to the world? Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
so to sum up, personal branding is not about becoming somebody new. It's
Hmm.
just about owning who you already are and showing up with clarity and confidence. That's it.
Hmm.
There are no filters that are needed except maybe the one on your coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, really. So how do one stay authentic while building a brand for themselves?
Um, so staying authentic by building a public image is like, I like to relate to this example because I think it's
Hmm.
people will be able to connect it to. So it's like putting makeup on, you only want to enhance what's already there. You don't
Yeah.
want to turn into someone else, right? Who nobody recognizes once you're made up, right?
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
your brand should feel like a very comfortable and favorite kurta. It's not stiff, it's not uncomfortable. It's something that you can actually breathe in and be yourself, right? So so I would say share your wins, own your journey, and let your real personality peek through, typos, laugh lines, and all. So,
Mm.
so everybody, should remember that people connect with real, not perfect.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
polish your edges. Yes, you need to keep doing that, but don't lose the sparkle that makes you what you are, which is the real you. That's what I would say. You know, in terms of staying authentic.
I used to fumble. I mean, when I see a lot of when I'm in a powerhouse of people, I mean, there's a lot of people who are very powerful. I used to fumble, and I understood that fumbling is also a sign of strength. It's bringing your authenticity and just looking at how to put your words correctly. So probably somebody told me I understood after that yeah, authenticity is so important. Whatever you bring to the table is your brand basically.
Yeah, I'm seeing a question.
How to get information about brand? What brand is being built?
Kajal, do you want to unmute and ask your question? I would like to get a little more clarity on your question before I answer that.
Yeah, actually, it was mixed with what Smita just asked. So probably, mixture of my question and what she asked you and you answered.
Okay.
Actually, I would like to know is like, okay, we carry the brand and we within the community or within the office, we, build it. But okay, there might be chances where we may not know what is being built behind our back. So, how to get the information and get aware of what exactly it's being built? Is it positive or negative?
Yeah. So, Kajal, the way I would answer that question is build your brand and get feedback from the people who matter.
Yeah.
Okay. We are a country of billion of people, so you can't please everybody. So you will not always have a positive brand. There will always be how people perceive you. But at the same time, try and be build your brand where it matters. Don't get into the rigor of trying to please everybody and giving an experience to everybody about your brand. That will not work, because we live in a world of perception, and whatever you do, some people will perceive you differently even if you try to go and clarify them. So know where your brand matters, where you would like to spend your energy, who are the people, and on what platforms if it is virtual. So use that and see what people are saying about you, and that information will come. If you're making some LinkedIn post, you're talking about something which is real and authentic to you, you will realize from how people are reacting on the post sometimes, of seeing how you're building that credibility.
Hmm. Does it answer your question, Kajal? Do you have anything further?
No, I think
Okay.
Ruchika have asked us a question, so probably Vidya can answer that, and I'll jump in with my second question, Sunita.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, sure.
This
uh,
question is specifically towards LinkedIn. Lately, LinkedIn has also become like Instagram. How can one break the clutter by being authentic?
okay. So I
And
think I think I did answer that in some way. So Ruchika, the first thing that you want to be when you talk about authentic, it is about yourself and not about others, right? So the way I would say authentic is spend some time on reflection, spend some time on introspection. What are your values? What are your beliefs? I think that will bring you closer to what you believe is really authentic. Like you have said, right? We see a lot of things in LinkedIn which today, may not be authentic or maybe fake, but that's how the world today is. So you can differentiate yourself by being real to yourself, do things that you believe, match your values, your beliefs, your cultural orientation, and that will take you being closer to authentic.
Hmm. But there's another follow-up question there. How can one keep tab on what works on LinkedIn, like considering the algorithm?
I really wouldn't have an answer to that. Maybe Smita, I don't know if you have an answer to
I don't know
that
the
one.
algorithm. So what works, what works. Some posts I get so many likes, some posts nobody likes it. So I don't go by the likes or the comments on the post. What I feel like writing, I write it. That's what I go about it because that's what I believe in. Whatever I believe in, I put it there. That's my brand. So I don't want to
And
get
again, when
doing
building
it.
a brand, I would also say
I
that
will
don't.
respond.
Yeah, Namita.
Sorry, Navneeta.
Okay.
Is something you want to talk, Namita? Probably, yeah. Yeah, carry on with yeah.
No, Ruchika, do you want to unmute yourself and
Clarify.
clarify a little bit on the second question?
Hi Vidya, hi Smita. So
Hello.
my question is mainly towards that LinkedIn keeps coming up with new algorithm. At times it is the carousels that work. At times it is the video that is working out these days. And also lately I've heard that hashtags really don't work. So
Yeah.
I mean to build that organic sort of reach and to be there as your authentic extension online, what really works on LinkedIn, because so much is happening and everybody's trying to do everything. So how would one know like what is really working out for you?
So, Ruchika, thanks for that question. I don't think if I will be able to answer that completely, but what I would say is it's not about what works on LinkedIn, what works on any social media. What is going to help you in your brand? I think that's a question that you should ask yourself, whether platform does not matter, right? What is it that you want to, who is your audience? What is it that you want to talk about as yourself, as your brand? That's a question that you should ask yourself. And which is the platform that you think is going to help you enhance or bring that kind of visibility? So I think algorithms keep coming in. I mean, things happen. So you should do that introspection yourself. Where do you want to reach, and whom do you want to reach out?
Vidya, I want to add here consistency matters. You can't build a
I
brand and just
said
leave
that.
it like that or whatever you're doing. Write a post once and leave it like that. You have to build it constantly. It's a constant exercise. It's a muscle which you need to build again and again.
Yeah.
So the momentum has to be there. I think there's another question by Deepika. So did we answer Ruchika? Did you? Is the most? This is what I felt I could add to what Vidya said. But yeah,
Same. I may not have all the answers, but
yeah.
I answered based on my experience. Ruchika, did that help you?
Yeah, she says yes. And there is
So,
Deepika who was raised
yes, I just
yeah,
want to
hand.
add you in this conversation as far as LinkedIn concerned. Yes, there is a all algorithm change, but the most important, it's just not posting anything that is posting, of course, works, but posting with engaging other people who is on the same field, commenting on their section, and check what is new, then again update the post. That is how it will work. And yes, consistency will matter, and of course reaching out to the right set of people and commenting on the right set of posts will definitely gonna work. That's what I learned about it recently. I am also researching a lot of things about it, how I can build a brand on LinkedIn, and that's what I have found it.
Thank you, Deepika, for adding that insight. That really helps.
Yeah, they're
Thank you.
very insightful. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one more question with it's from Manjusha, and what she says
Yes.
is, does your brand success depend on validation from others?
I I would go back to my same comment. Try and identify whom you need this validation from. So it's a partial, I would say, no and yes, because it does not necessarily need a validation, but it definitely needs an engagement from the people who matter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have, as I said, I'm going back to my answer of we have billions of people around in the country. You can't keep everybody, you can't keep validating. Otherwise, you will spend your entire life just building a personal brand.
I
So,
think feedback matters, right? Because
exactly.
yes,
And I spoke about it. So do get
yeah,
feedback from people who matter to you, not from everybody, but who matter. Uh, Do spend time on, of course, I will not say that validation is not needed at all, but validation is only needed from the people who you think can add value to your brand. So I hope, Manjusha, that helps answer your question.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll get back to my questions now.
Yeah.
What are the steps one can take to start when they start building their brand? What are the few steps they can take?
I'd like to. I'm somebody who's very passionate about dancing, so I'm going to use an analogy of dance.
Yeah.
With branding. So think of building your brand like you're picking up your dance moves after years. You're going to be a bit rusty at first. You may step on your own feet and even others' feet at times, but the rhythm is still there in you. And you should come to realize that you are still the star of your show when it comes to building your personal brand, right? So some of the steps that I would say is, and I did mention this a couple of minutes before, start with self-introspection. Reflect on what makes you, you. What are your strengths? What are your values? What are your superpowers? It could be as simple things as multitasking, negotiation, crisis management. Don't undermine any of your strengths, corporate or non-corporate. For example, if you've ever handled a toddler tantrum or a grocery list, have made lunches and dinner ready on time, manage your household help. I'm sure people will agree that's a big task in itself. At the same time, you are basically a qualified project manager, right? So reflect on what makes you, you. I think reclaim your voice, right? You don't need to become a content machine or write philosophical essays to build your brand. Just start showing up and start showing up consistently, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's in conversations or in meetings, or even in any of your WhatsApp groups with your old colleagues. Share what excites you professionally. Let people know you. An article you may have liked, a learning from your career break, a small win from your upskilling journey. Be consistent, be honest, and most importantly, be real. Don't try. I'm extremely paranoid of the of the saying that many people use, fake it till you make it. Guys, when it comes to building a personal brand, try and be real. You don't need big words. You don't need jargons. You just need your own voice.
Yeah.
And I think the third step would be show up, right? Whether it's online or in person, whichever medium you're using. Attend events that are relevant to you. Comment on posts that matter. Share your thoughts, share your values. Let people know the you when you are commenting on something, or even if you're posting on a matter. Don't feel the rush or the pressure to post something because others are doing it. Is it relevant? Does that align with your beliefs? Does that align with your value? Reconnect with people who add value. Make a difference. Network with people. Guys, people undermine the power of networking, right? Use networking as a powerful tool to enhance your brand. Your brand goes, and remember, your brand goes only when you are visible, not when you are silently scrolling, right? Lurking is not networking. So use the power of networking.
So, Vidya, I mean, very good steps which you've mentioned. I think very useful, insightful for us. And I also want to know that you had also taken a break from your career, and there are a lot of people in this forum as well, and people are returners to work. Maybe they've taken breaks. Maybe it's not gender based. I'm saying it could be a woman or a man who has taken a break for whatever reasons. When they come back, how do they build their brand after a break?
So the great re-entry. We have glorified, we have over glorified career break or women returning to workforce. My first, and I've gone through this myself because I took a 4-year break when I was doing very well in my career. The first thing I would say that please do not be apologetic about taking a break. Okay. So, first thing is give yourself a massive high five. You've already managed the toughest job of all, life management. Why do you take a break? Because there is something which is more important. There is something that needs your attention and prioritize, right? Nobody takes a break for fun, right? Or somebody takes a break to reflect and find their purpose in life, right? So, and if you're feeling sneaky about guilt whispering, did I just waste time? Remind that you were working all the time, right? Just in a different role. For example, on a lighter note, CEO of home operations, head of multitasking, director of crisis management. We've all gone through this, right? So always remember that getting back to work is like riding a bicycle, except that your bike might have a few new gears. The road might have changed. And if you're in Mumbai, guys, make sure the road has definitely changed. But the good news, the balance is still yours. The balance is still in your control, right? So to all the ladies out there who've taken a break, be patient and kind with yourself. You may not know the latest apps, acronyms. That's okay. Learn, ask questions, be curious, get yourself updated. And most importantly, there is a world of support out there. Don't be afraid to say, help me out there. People respect honesty and more, and people are ready to offer help and pull up their peers, right? At the same time, introspect, lean in into your unique strengths, whether it's multitasking, whether it's crisis management, whether it is discipline, whether it is finance, you know, everything that you may have honed, all the skills that you may have honed from real life, or empathy that comes from walking multiple paths, right? These are gold in today's workplace. This is what a workplace needs, right? And as I said, finally build your tribe. Surround yourself with cheerleaders. Get yourself a mentor. I think it really helps. I'm saying this from experience because I did not have a mentor at that time and I wished I had, right? So and that's my way of giving back to the community, and that's why I'm on these sessions like this, where I can share my experience, where I can mentor, where I can coach people who actually need it, right? And always remember, your comeback story is powerful. So own it, share it, celebrate every small win. You deserve it.
So I want to add something there. I took a break for travel, so it was fun. So I took two breaks. One is a creative break to get my house done in my native place, which is a White Pin, which is an island in Kochi. And then second time I took a break to travel. So when I came back to work, the questions I was asked is, what was the purpose you took a break? Is it was it a health issue? Was it a personal thing? When I said I took a break, it was before COVID. So for travel, nobody was understanding me at that point of time. But I had to build my story, telling that what travel did to me, what trekking did to me, how I became a better leader. And probably these breaks which I taken, as you said, have actually added a lot of value to the work which I done later on after that.
Absolutely, and don't keep justifying folks that why you took a break, right? I don't know why career breaks are seen as something which is so negative, right? In fact, it gives people to find that purpose. And I have seen that when I came back from a career break, I came up as a different person. I came up more energized, and the value that I could add to my organization was profound. So I think we need to stop, generalizing and labeling career breaks. And for all those people who are on today's call, I want you folks, I would urge for all of you folks to be ambassadors and not look at this negatively, and help your women colleagues who are coming back from a career break and make space for them, because they are coming back as evolved. They've not taken a career break. They have coming back as evolved with skills that you might have not imagined that they must have.
Well, that's a beautiful insight here. We can help so many people who are coming back to workforce, definitely.
Absolutely.
So I am done with my questions. And before I go into rapid fire, let me see if somebody has more questions. Is there anybody who has questions for Vidya or me? Then we can answer that. Otherwise, I'll bombard her with rapid fire questions there.
No, I'm happy to take questions or even reflections. I mean, this is a psychological safe environment. So if people want to unmute and share their reflections, we would be very happy to hear that, or any experiences.
Hi, Vidya.
Hi, Deepika.
So it's really nice to hear you. You know, you have such a powerful voice and powerful words that you are using. So I just wanted to know how I can build powerful vocabularies like you.
So it's very simple, Deepika. This is something that I have learned in my journey. So a simple step that I used to do is I used to observe a lot of people when they used to speak, right? You have these big people and fantastic people with articulation in your organization, or even when you are, in any other social circles. And I have this habit of making a small note, so I wouldn't understand when I was younger, I wouldn't understand the meaning of the words, right? So I would note it down in my diary, and then I would come back and I would try and find out the meaning through Google. And then over a period of time, and typically what I do is, like I did today before preparing for today's session, I try to use, where can I use these words in a relatable manner.
So you are still in learning phase when it comes to vocabularies and words, is it?
100%. I think everybody is, and I think I will
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
learning till I die.
Mhm. Okay, okay.
Yes, Swati, thanks for sharing, because you don't remember and you never come up with the right word when you want to, right? So I
Yeah.
I keep writing those words, and I also write the meaning, because sometimes somebody just throws a word with you and you don't understand what it is. It sounds great, but you don't understand the meaning and when you can use it. So I do that, and before any presentation or before any meeting or anything, I keep going through those words and try to see where I can use those words in a relatable manner.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I have my own small dictionary, Deepika, to answer to your question.
So this is something I really wanted to know because I am also a inspiring certified soft skill trainer. I took a professional training from ICBI, and right now I have quit my job as a senior talent acquisition, and moving into my moving going for my passion, of course. So I'm working on this specifically
No, all
because
the
I
best.
have lot of thoughts, lot of things to say, but yeah, I always felt that there is something missing my vocabularies or the expression at the right time that I wanted to say. I am lacking behind.
No, you will be fine, Deepika. We've all
Yeah.
gone through that journey. So I wish you all the very best. And you'll be absolutely fine. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Deepika, I just want to add, I'm a writer, so I also face difficulty with words. So what I do is when I find new words, I put it in my notes. In the notes in my phone, I just look at what is an easy way of expressing that word in a very layman language, so that other people can understand. Because I like Sudha Murthy's books, and also she writes very simple English where no dictionary is required. So I just want to ensure that whenever I'm using words or words or writing something, no dictionary is required. So that's how I try to make difficult words into simple words.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, so I'm just I'll take another 2-3 minutes for your rapid fire questions, Vidya.
Okay, there is a question that
So
I
there's another
see
question.
from Swati.
Oh, if we are fumbling or blank when someone insults or taunts, how to react at that moment and answer them wisely? Interesting.
Interesting question. So Swati, do you want to unmute? It'd be nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, hi Vidya. Hi
Hi.
Smita.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you
Yeah.
too. Go ahead, Swati. Is this something that you have experienced?
Yeah, so much time. So I used to search that how to answer them wisely. So every time I used to search it, but until now, I'm in learning phase only. I'm in searching phase itself. So I
Yeah.
want that answer from.
So I have gone through this myself, Swati, and the first thing I can completely relate to it, because the first thing when somebody insults or taunts you is that we want to react. We have an urge, or we feel the pressure to react to that particular thing. I think the wise way of thinking is to take a step back and respond, because the moment you shift your reaction to responsiveness, the entire mindset shifts, right? So you can very simply start by asking a question. Can you help me clarify why do you feel this way? If somebody is insulting you or taunting you. So what happens is typically when you react, the sentiments are high, the emotions are very high, and it could flare up in a different direction. But the moment you put in a question, you ask a question, and you choose to respond to them, then it turns them around. It gives the opposite person also some time to mellow down and think about why they said something like this. I think that's the best way to address that situation.
Oh, thank you, Vidya. Lovely answer.
Yeah, take a step back and respond. That's a good one. Yeah.
Absolutely. And always remember, and I've learned this through personal experience. We are all in the corporate world. We keep getting. I have received multiple mails because I was in the service delivery organization where people send you a mail and it's full of anger, criticism about things. And then with the moment you read it, you are high on emotion. They have sent it with a very high emotion, and you have an urge to go and respond to it. And when you are high on emotion and you respond to an email, it gets perceived, or you write things which you don't even mean to write many a times, right? You are getting defensive. So the best way is, which I learned a couple of years before and I've been doing it, is park that email.
Yes.
Don't respond to it immediately. Take a day to respond to it. Emotions are down. A better way, have a one-on-one conversation with the person to understand why they feel that way and why they wrote that way. When a person comes on phone, you would be very surprised. Their sentiment is very different from what you would comprehend in that email, right? So try to shift reaction to responsiveness. I think that will work.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
yeah, I think questions are done. So let me get back to my rapid fire. Is it books or movies you like, Vidya?
100% movies, यार. I'm a social person. मुझे अकेले अच्छा नहीं लगता. I want चलता फिरता लोग चाहिए मुझे.
Or driving or walking?
Both actually.
Okay. Meditation or yoga?
Again, I would say both, because yoga is something that centers me and helps me in my physical, keeping myself physically healthy. And meditation is to channelize and my energy, which I think goes haywire sometimes. So I need to bring my focus. So definitely meditation. So it's both the physical and the emotional and mental need.
So a personal value you will never compromise on.
Integrity.
And one word that defines your personal brand.
That's a difficult one. Resourceful.
And if your brand had a song, what it would be?
More than a song, if I had no option but to think of a song, I would say "Unstoppable" by Sia. And I was not very, I'd not heard that song before, but somebody sent it to me during the Women's Day, International Women's Day, and that's how I remember it. But for me, I think something that is extremely close to my heart is the Phenomenal Women poetry by Maya Angelou. So if people have not read it, please go and look it up. It's an extremely, I have it pinned in my wall and I look at it every day, and it's a fabulous poetry. It's a short one and I have a small print of it. So if people haven't looked up, and I use it many a times in many of my sessions, and I'm going to use it today while I close the session, but women, please go and look up to the Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou.
Yeah, so I'm done. I'm done with my questions here, Vidya. It was lovely talking to you. I had a great time listening to all the gyan you gave me. And a very, very insightful gyan, I'll say. And probably
Yeah.
you were listening to us as well. Hope you enjoyed what we were talking about. And because this is a conversation which is real, and probably I have not found anybody more authentic who could help me with my brand. So I think that's why I brought her here, so that we could have this chat. And if you have anybody has any questions, you can reach out to her on her HerKey platform. She's there in LinkedIn as well. And in case you want to get coached or mentored, again, she's available. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vidya,
So,
you want to, before
yeah.
we wrap it up, is there something you want to tell all of us?
No, I wanted to ask if there is any question or anything that we may have missed in the session, if somebody wants to add it before I close the session formally.
So I think we've answered all the questions which had come up, and probably, yeah, we've answered all of them.
Yeah. And you can find me, you can find Smita on LinkedIn, folks. If you want to have a one-on-one conversation with me, I'm always game for it. You will find my contact in LinkedIn. And I don't know if we share numbers as well, Smita. I don't know if we want to do that.
Yeah, HerKey platform. The IDs are there, so they can reach out to us through HerKey also. That's not a
Yes,
problem.
feel free to reach out for anybody who needs any kind of mentoring or mentoring, especially on personal branding or any kind of coaching. Uh, I'm available. I'm always ready to support, and this is my way of giving. I did not have the luxury of mentorship way back when I was in my beginning stages of my career. So this is my way of giving back to the community. And as we wrap up, last few words of sentences of Gyan, as Smita put it, just remember that your personal brand isn't about perfection. It's all about authenticity. And I would like to relate it back to a good Bollywood movie, right? It's got drama, it's going to have emotion, it's going to have unforgettable moments that make you stand out. So be the star of your own story. Don't wait for somebody else to come and make you the star. That's not going to happen. And do it with add all the spice, add all the sparkle that you will bring to your personal brand. And don't try to emulate, because you cannot copy a brand of somebody else and say that this is my brand. It will never be real, right? It will be fake. So, and personal brand is not very difficult again, right? Personal brand is something that everybody can do. It is not, we've made it such a taboo word, and now we have started having courses on personal brand. It's not all that difficult, folks. I've done it myself, and I've never been perfect in it, so it's not very difficult. And one last, a small paragraph from Maya Angelou's a poem. You understand just why my head is not bowed. I don't shout or jump about to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care. Cause I am a woman phenomenal woman. That's me. And I would like to end the session with this particular saying.
Thanks, Vidya. We also have another session coming up next Monday, which is related to yoga and NLP. Diksha would be
Yes.
there. So I would love to have you guys all there as well. And you will learn something more about yoga and NLP in that session. And
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for making this interactive and sharing your personal experiences. I really enjoyed. Thank you so much.
bye.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
Vidya.
everyone.
Thank you, Smita. And thank you, everyone, for joining this session. I've already pinned the upcoming session, which will be on 14th July. You guys can attend that session, show your interest there. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Have a great
Bye.
evening. Bye-bye.